Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. Wanted to make this video on the daily or the nightly watch list. And if you've been following along and you watch my videos, I'm going to start becoming a little bit more tactical and show you even more of what to look for. When we make our watch list, we kind of make a kind of like a generic, I don't say a generic one, but like we try to put it out to the community for those that are day traders and also maybe swing traders, options traders. So we kind of like move our stocks up to like $30 based upon that. And we also really haven't filtered down for float on our watch list. Now, if you're not familiar with float, what you want to do is go over to our latest video, low float stocks, and how to find the float of a stock and really learn what float is. Basically, float makes a stock move. Excuse me, it's the number of shares that are available to trade of each stock. So the more shares that are available to trade with a stock, the less demand because it's easy to get shares. The less amount of shares that are available, the more demand. So, the what they call a low float stock causes a lot more volatility, excuse me, in price movement, and that's exactly what you're looking for as if you're doing day trading. If you're not day trading and you're doing more swing trading or long-term trading, you might not really care as much about the flow, but if you're a day trader, pay really specific attention to float. And so what I did in the video, I showed you um, how to locate float, but as kind of a way to make things a little bit easier, Thinkorswim has something called shares. Look forward to our float video, and I'll be also putting one out for Thinkorswim shares. But basically, you can just go in here, click the toggle wheel, click customize, type in shares and add it over here, and it's similar to float. Now, with Thinkorswim, shares will be a lot more than the actual float, so it's actually a good gauge to go by. So, if you really want to get like an accurate gauge with float, go to a place called like Yahoo Finance and type it in, and you can look at the actual float of a company. So, I'll give you an example. Go over here to Yahoo Finance. Let's just type in ETRM. It's a well-known garbage company. So once you see over here, if you click on statistics, you will see down here float, and you'll see ETRM has a float of 5.92 million shares. But if you go over to Thinkorswim under shares, I think I had that one on my watch list today. Yeah, you'll see it shows 8.2 million. So the shares are a lot higher with Thinkorswim. So the good news, it's a very good gauge when you're doing your watch list. If you're kind of doing things like the way I am, or if you have your scan set up and you put your watch list over here with Thinkorswim or whoever your broker is, add the shares tab. I also have it on my interactive brokers as well. I just added shares by going up to right up here into settings and just adding in shares, I believe. I think I typed in it up there and just added it. So you'll see shares outstanding. So basically, I can look at a glance. If I see something's under 20 million right away, I know that's a low float stock. So low float stocks are really anything under 20 million. Really low float stocks would be under 10 million. So if you're an intraday or day trader, you want to focus ideally on stocks that have a float of under 20 million. Now, many traders will go up to 50 million as well. It's still 50 million is slower than up to 20 million. It all depends, as well as the next thing is you want to look ideally for stocks that, number one, are low float under 20 million, and also ideally have a news catalyst. If you're looking to long the stock and want it to go up, obviously you want positive news. If you're looking to short it or whatever, potential negative news affects it. To the opposite. So ideally, you want to look for low float stocks with a news catalyst. Now, the majority of times, news comes out either pre-market or after market, after the market closes. So when I do these watch lists at night, excuse me, man, my allergies are killing me today. If you want to start paying attention when if you're doing day trading, look at the nightly watch list, but we also then post our trade ideas one every morning. And on the trade ideas pre-market watch list, that shows the actual real float of a stock. It also shows the pre-market volume. So basically, the watch list at night is kind of a gauge, but in the morning, everything could be completely different. So you're going to have the nightly watch list, and then you're going to start wanting to train yourself to look at the morning watch list with trade ideas and kind of compare them both. Sometimes the stocks that we put on our watch list will be on trade ideas, sometimes it won't. So you obviously want to kind of look at them both, and then really narrow down your watch list to an even more targeted one, and look for stocks where I personally don't trade really anything over $10. It gets way too crazy for me. Um, I like to really have tight bid ask spreads, and I like to be able to control my risk management properly. So I trade stocks that are really under $10, that have obviously volume, and ideally have under 20 million float, unless there's some crazy news catalyst that might be triggering the stock to go one way or the other. Now, sometimes again, a stock's not always going to move. A stock will move sometimes with technical breakouts or breakdowns without a news catalyst. But if you really want to get really laser targeted, every morning you should kind of basically take our watch list and take, from the night before, look at trade ideas, narrow it down, and really look at stocks that have a low flow, ideally under 20 million, that have some pre-market volume as well. Anywhere at least 10,000 pre-market volume, you'll see on trade ideas when we post it, you'll see pre-market volume. Look at ones that have at least 10,000 up to, again, the more it starts to have more pre-market volume, chances are something's actually, causing that to happen. And then the next thing what you'd want to do is just go up here. For some reason, my Thinkorswim is kind of cutting it off, but I have it on here. You can see if you click up here, you'll see if there's like news for the day. So I check really quick on Thinkorswim. I have a lot on my Thinkorswim, so I actually have my interactive brokers. It's a little bit cleaner up here. So basically, I narrow down my watch list in the morning. Again, I look for stocks ideally under 20 million float that have pre-market volume, and then ideally have a catalyst, a news catalyst. And that's when I kind of take my watch list, and I'll have it up over here. You'll see my regular watch list, and then I kind of narrow it down to a handful of targeted ones. And you'll see right here, well, you could say, well, why do you have 30 million shares on there? Well, again, this is probably more around the 20 million float range. Again, Thinkorswim's kind of higher, so I kind of will let it go up to 30 or 40 million over here, just to kind of really gauge it, because again, it's more of an eyeball. So let's take a look at a couple of ones today that I had on my watch list, and then we'll build the new watch list. So again, I'm going to be more targeted in my videos. I'm explaining a little bit more today. I'll keep refreshing it, but these are the things you want to start looking for. So FLKS today had news. You'll see there was some news this morning. There was, I believe, it was definitely some positive news. So, and it had some pre-market volume. So what happened was, you'll see here, it didn't have a ton, but it was slowly, it had like, again, it had, I think, at least 10,000 volume. Sometimes if you get ones that have hundreds of thousands or a million of volume pre-market, then the thing will skyrocket pre-market, and once the market opens, it just completely collapses. So if you're looking to long stocks more and you're not going to be shorting it as much, then you want to kind of hover with, at least 10, anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 shares is really good, because again, it could be building and building like a bull flag in the morning before it opens and goes up. So you'll see this one here, right off the bat in the morning, it just created this really nice green candlestick on the 5-minute, pull back, and then it kind of formed this wedge pattern, and then it broke out, and then it basically formed a nice head and shoulders. You'll see a head, a left shoulder, and a right shoulder, and then it kind of broke down. So it still finished up for the day, but again, it went up on the news, and then it kind of came down. So it's always the tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. or the Bulls and the Bears. But you'll see this morning again, it went up. It went up from, it went up 434 up to 539. It's over $1 move before it came back down. So if you had that on your targeted watch list, that would have been great. GNCA, that was another one. So again, not all of them are going to have the criteria. Obviously, again, you want ones that are low float and have some pre-market volume, and ideally a news catalyst. Sometimes you only might get 2 out of the 3. That's when you're going to have to judge, what what your preference is, or how you want to trade. But this is another one that was on my watch list this morning, GNCA. I think a lot of people were watching it, and you'll see it had quite a bit of, let me see, yeah, quite a bit of volume in the morning, pulled back, and it didn't go up for very long, but it did. It went up, 631 to 678, and then it kind of just went and gave back all its gains. So that's, the trouble with some of the ones. I think that one had quite a bit of pre-market volume. So, you can see it went up and created a peak right here on the pre-market. So then it kind of pulled back, and then when it went up and hit the peak again, it just kind of gave back all its gains. So that's where you want to be careful. Just because something is running a lot in the pre-market doesn't mean it's going to skyrocket for the rest of the day. And then TNTR, that was another one with the slow burn, or went up in the pre-market, hit its peak, and then as you can see when the market opened, it just kind of just went down from there. So, but again, it's volatility. As you can see these things, this thing, anywhere from, let's see, the base here at around 705 up to 750, that's 50 cents worth of movement. These low float stocks tend to move. Trove, that was another one that had some pre-market volume. This one did nothing. Didn't have much volume. AEZS, another one, just kind of a mess. And look at it, just had some pre-market volume, and then when it opened, it just kind of collapsed and then went and traded sideways. And last one was MBVX. That kind of just bear flagged all the way down as well. So again, but you know what? You're just looking for these scalps. If you have a broker like Interactive Brokers, then you would have been able to short companies like this. Once it went red to, or green to red, you could have shorted it $1.15, and then it went, it kept bear flagging down. So it's all about patterns and watching what a stock is going, what it's doing. So now just kind of want to show you that. So now when I'm doing the watch list for tonight, I'm going to kind of do the one for the whole community. But if you're a day trader, I'd focus on the ones that are under $10. So let me go to our regular one up here and go over here to nightly scan. Stocks between 30 cents and $30. Minimum 500,000 shares traded, and a minimum of 5% gains on the day. And you'll see, wow, lots of lots. Today was a crazy day in the market. So actually today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale this one down to not make this video so long. I'm going to do it for the ones that are up to $10, just to kind of really make it right here, sub $10. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So that really knocked out a whole bunch of them. Again, if you're going to be day trading, that's what I would tend to focus on. I'm kind of torn whether I should just do the watch list like this from now on, since most of the people are really intraday trading it. We actually might do one with trade ideas for options plays. So as of right now for tonight, because I've already kind of taken some time out to explain things, I'm just going to make this one kind of shorter, because this is what I'm focusing on. This is what you should be doing anyways, focusing on the ones under $10, so you can kind of get with this one's also filtered by float. So as you can see, these all have under 20 million of volume as well. So this is going to show you how to make things really more targeted. So I'm going to go over here to the watch list, add it over here, and make it for tomorrow, which is the 26th. Remove the ones from today, and we'll just kind of go from there. So these will be a lot more targeted for you when you're trading, when you're building your watch list. Now, a lot of them you might only be able to play on the way up, but you'll see when I do mine, comparing it with Interactive Brokers, where they might actually have shares to short, um, where Thinkorswim does not. So MBRX, this one kind of went up, was choppy. I don't really love it. It does have a lot of volume. It is right around that whole dollar mark of $2. I don't know if I would put it on my Thinkorswim one, but again, for Interactive Brokers, if there's short shares available to short, I'll put it on my watch list. So we'll double check over there and see. Nothing available to short right now, so I might not put it on my watch list there. FLKS. So this is an interesting one. This one went up, pulled back. I am going to put it on the watch list because it was just a very interesting one today. So I'm going to put it on the watch list to watch for tomorrow. But I am also going to be looking to play it both ways. And there are shares to short available with Interactive Brokers. CRC, yes, that one will go on the watch list for tomorrow. Held its highs. Double check the flow, but it's definitely probably under 40 million. Watch this potential area of resistance here, right around the 974 mark, or 76. See if it can get up over that tomorrow. Let me see. Check to see if Thinkorswim has shares to short if there is a pullback, but CRC will definitely go on the watch list. I'll put that over here. Mara, M-A-R-A, kind of choppy, don't really like it. SND, definitely it held its highs. That will go on the watch list. Keep an eye on these, again, these EMAs, these potential areas of resistance up here. See if stock will break up or if it's going to fall below. This is a shortable one, ETB, so that's one you can trade either way. So SND, let's put that over here. IGC, held its highs, did have some volume. It's getting over the EMAs. I will put that on the watch list. Again, compare these tomorrow when I send out the trade ideas ones and see which ones end up on the trade ideas pre-market movers as well. Let's go to CFMS. That one held its highs, had some volume. Keep an eye on the 657 range and also see if it can go up at some point and fill that gap. So keep an eye on things. There are some areas, if it's going to break above here, if it's going to want to go and fill the gap. Doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow, but over time it could. So I will put that one on the watch list. Let's see here. I don't like these ones that don't even show shares. That really bothers me. IFON, kind of held its highs. I don't like the look of that chart. MRNS, this one held its highs, had some volume. It's been running up. This is one, again, now it's broaching a whole dollar amount. See what happens if it pulls back. You can't short it with Thinkorswim, but I will put it on the watch list here. I'm going to go over to Interactive Brokers and see. It is shortable, so that's a good thing. So that one might pull back. And the tendency is stocks ideally, once they get really overbought, they want to tend to pull back to this EMAs. And this one right here is a 13 EMA. So I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but in the near future at some point, it may want to start to pull back to that area before it makes more of a leg up. So keep an eye on that. CRR, held its highs, kind of borderline volume. Keep an eye on these EMAs. I will put that one on the watch list. Don't love it, but I'll put it on. Let me see over here, CRR. And again, I can go tomorrow and I might not trade any of these. That's why I love Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is awesome. And I'll show you too. We have a great community discount on Trade Ideas if you're looking to get it. We have 15% off for community members. So I will pull up that in a moment and show you guys. Don't like TEUM. BRS. That one's kind of messy looking. It kind of pulled back up here. Let me see. I ran it close to the $8 mark. That's borderline. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'll put it on there just to have another potential one to watch. BRS OMNT. Did I put that one twice? BRS. BRS. There we go. OMNT. Kind of traded sideways. Don't really like that one. And CIE. Kind of held its highs. Didn't really have much volume. And it's kind of crappy looking. So I'm not going to put that on the watch list. So as you can see here, I'm kind of going to just make these videos more targeted for you on the ones that are just going to probably basically have more movement. So as you can see, these are all under 50 million float. But check tomorrow each of these and see if any of them have news. And if they have news, then chances are, let me just remove these here for tomorrow. Those are for today. See if there's news and pre-market volume. So basically take these ones, compare them to the trade ideas that I send out in the morning, and then see if there's a news catalyst and kind of basically do a targeted watch list and narrow it down to 3 to 5 stocks that are under $10, under 20 million float, that have pre-market volume of at least 10,000. And ideally see if there's a news catalyst, and then just basically chart your stock of the areas of support and resistance. And that's the great way to practice. And then obviously, you lose level 2, practicing your virtual trading account. But that's really kind of the setup every day that you go through. We have our nightly watch list, then the ones in the morning, compare them, and just that's it. Repetition is the key every single day. If you haven't been over to our website yet, make sure you go over to bullishbears.com. You can subscribe to our daily watch list because we do send this out by email every day. Make sure you take our free trading courses. We have lots of courses that we offer to the community. Join our trade room if you haven't. We have a great trade room that's free for the community, so come and join us over there on Skype. If you like our logo and everything, we have great merchandise. You can purchase some up here. And we are a contribution-based community. We don't charge our members for the services that we offer. So if you'd like to contribute, we would greatly appreciate it. You can do monthly or single donations right up here. Again, too, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch our videos, like them, tweet, like them, share them, comment on them. We're very interactive. Again, watch this low float video and pay attention here, to some of these other ones that we're going to start getting a little bit more targeted in our videos and adding some really great ones for trading, lots of day trading ones, and we'll be adding some more options as well. So hopefully this video helped you guys, and we will see you in our community, and have a great trading day tomorrow, guys. Enjoy.